I always say that like about Danzig. Like everyone's like, Danzig is mean. I'm like, why would you want a nice Danzig? That would suck. Welcome to Last Words here in the Pit. I'm Jordan Olds from 2 Minutes to Late Night.
I'm Katy Irizarry with Season in This and Loudwire.com.
And I am Doc Coyle from the band Bad Wolves and also the host of the X-Men podcast.
And this week, we have a very special guest, the lead singer of the hardcore band On Women and also author Shawna Potter. What's up, dude?
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I miss you.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen you more than most of the people because we've done a ton of covers together.
Yeah, I'm actually tired of you. I was just trying to be nice.
Get off the show. You're out of here. Cradle of Filth is launching a line of tea. I'm used to tea having like a bear on it that's like getting into bed. Like that's usually what I want when I'm going for tea.
Yeah, you don't have enough goth friends in your life. We as a people like to just hang out with our cats and sip tea. It's a real thing. I know it sounds like I'm making that up, but I swear it's a phenomenon that really occurs. So it actually makes perfect sense. Like I really am more of a tea drinker than a coffee drinker for the most part. So I'm like so stoked on this.
This is the first band tea I've heard of. Has anyone heard of another one?
I haven't, but I say so. I had the good fortune of doing Cradle of Filth's first ever U.S. tour in 2001, opening up for them. So we got to know them pretty well. They've had a lot of band changeover, but what makes this perfect is they and Danny specifically, they're unabashedly British, you know, and I think that's what's
my favorite kind of Brit.
And there's also, he's got a little bit of that classy, regal, kind of tipping the wine, shop around, so I think.
Oh, yes, I am in a heavy metal band.
That's right.
We play the rock and roll every fortnight.
I love it. Because every band has a coffee or a hot sauce or a beer. Every band except On Women. Somebody call me. I like beer also. And so I actually think, talking about innovation, I think that that's a good way to be like, well, here's this other thing. Like maybe On Women should do like cookies or something.
Pickles.
I don't know. What's pickles?
Yeah, make your own pickles.
We have done that.
Every romantic comedy I watch, for some reason, the female protagonist always owns like a cupcake shop. So maybe that's the move.
There is a place in Asbury Park. It's not owned by a metal band or anything. It's called Purple Glazed Donuts, and they actually do the metal donut of the week. So they'll have like the Behemoth donut, or they'll have like a Bark at the Moon donut. So there is also an audience for metal donuts. I will like to say, like, I love seeing random stuff, like the pickles idea. Like there is, I believe, Kelly's Death Pickles, they're called. And they do merch for, or do pickles and relish, and do relish for Withered and a bunch of other bands. And then I don't know if you guys remember last year, speaking of Behemoth, they did a dog food, which missed the mark. They should have done a cat food because most metalheads have cats, except for Jordan.
This is true as hell.
Yeah.
Metal people, you love a cat. I always thought forever I was like a dog person. I thought everyone was going to have like a cool dog. Nope. All you have cats. All of you have things just in rooms of your house all the time.
Again, not something specific to metal, but yeah.
Right. For sure.
I poop my cat's poop regularly.
Here's the thing. I forgot that Cradle of Filth was British. They look like the Borg from Star Trek. I don't even put that together, but it's really funny that they off stage are just like posh and British, and they want tea, they want a crumb, they want a biscuit. Just when you see just like the real people behind like gigantic metal personas. Like there are people who are exactly themselves on stage, but then there are people who are like beasts. Like it is really funny that like Nurgle from Behemoth likes acupuncture and yoga and makes dog food. Like that's what he wants to do. Like he wants to have a nice haircut and do a yoga I've never heard of. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Do you guys have like a favorite like big personas, real persona?
I definitely have a few. Gall in particular comes to mind.
Oh my God, my favorite.
He's extremely kind, such a gentleman, and he just likes to sip wine and make wholesome art and hang out with his partner, and he's just so docile and kind, and it's like you wouldn't think, especially because he's so notorious, but He's really just a chill, nice, polite dude. My favorite Gall story is I was drinking wine out of a paper cup, like a coffee cup, and I insisted I was fine. He insisted that I drink it out of a glass and got me a wine glass. So that's the kind of person he is. And then Sakis from Rotting Christ, one of the sweetest people, most polite, humble. And it's like, you think Rotting Christ, they're so scary. It's like, he's so chill. Don't judge a book by its cover for sure, because most of these people are just complete teddy bears. They'd probably be upset that I said this publicly. So many of these people who, like, the scarier they seem on the surface, the sweeter they are on the inside, mostly.
Because they have an outlet. That's what I think.
True.
Like an actual healthy outlet for anger. I'm a much healthier person when I get to scream on stage.
Like when I first got into music, I realized that I think I stuck working in metal because I was like, everyone's so chill and nice in a metal band. And then singer-songwriter types, there's way more heads over there. Like they have to like fake being soft. So they're like pen up and they take shit out on people. It's awful.
I never thought about the inverse. You're totally right.
Yeah, I have a very counterpoint. I actually think that is the norm and I think that actually is a downside for metal. I think the most interesting people are the ones who live it 24/7 and there's no like difference. Like when you meet someone like, oh, they're the real deal. Like this is not like you hang out with the dudes from Watain, you're like, oh yeah, these aren't playing around. Seth from Behemoth, that dude is one of the most intense dudes I've ever met in my life. Mm-hmm. Every now and again, you meet someone, you're like, okay, these dudes are not. Oh, you thought those was lyrics? No. This is the autobiography. All right. You meet some of these rappers, it's like, yo, I just got from the dope house. All right, I'm making my rounds and I go to the concert. That's real.
Doc just wants to hang out with Harley Flanagan. Like that's.
Listen, I'm not saying I want to hang out with him, but I respect it, right? Like,
oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I had this dream, right? I did Download Festival one year and Guns N' Roses headlining, and all I wanted to do was get punched in the face by Axl Rose.
Yeah.
There's some. I said this. There's some rock stars if I meet, I don't want them to be nice to me. I want them to be just for me even being in their vicinity. Just say, get out of here, you peon. I don't know you, and slap me in the face.
I always say that like about Danzig. Like everyone's like, Danzig is mean. I'm like, why would you want a nice Danzig? That would suck.
So for me, I think Marilyn Manson falls in that category where I met him once briefly and I was genuinely terrified of him. And he just looked at me very intensely and I was wearing like these Illuminati earrings and he just goes, nice earrings. And then just keeps walking. And I mean, even though of course the exchange was nice, he was polite, I'm still terrified of him. And I think I always want to be terrified of him. Like, I don't want to meet him and get like Alice Cooper. I want to meet him and get like scary.
He's the real, that's what I'm saying. Manson's one of the last real deal people, which is why he has transcended rock and metal and all this, and that he's an icon because like he lives that day to day. I have a story. I got to do 2 shows at Manson just last October. And you know what? If I would have had the right, accoutrement at my disposal, I would have I could have had a moment, man. But I
know what you're talking about.
He dipped in the dressing room. He asked me, I could not help him, and he moved on. And I was like, God damn it, I could have had my Manson moment.
Well, that does it for us here at Last Words. I'm Jordan Olds. You please follow 2 Minutes to Late Night at 2 Minutes to Late Night on Instagram, at 2M2LN on Twitter.
You can find me at Merciful Kate on Twitter and Instagram.
Doc.
And you can find me at Doc Coyle on all platforms, www.doccoyle.net.
Shawna, where can the people find you? Do you want to talk a little bit about Making Spaces Safer?
Nah, I want you to read about it. Go buy Making Spaces Safer on akpress.org because everyone deserves to have a good time when you're out and about, even if there's a pandemic. It doesn't matter. no one deserves harassment or assault for being who they are. Or you can follow me at Shawna Potter Wow on Twitter and Instagram, or check out shawnapotter.com for all of the haps.
If you want to hear our full unedited conversation, be sure to check out The Pit Presents Last Words on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All right, be sure to follow The Pit on all social media at We Are The Pit. If there's something we forgot to talk about this week, let us know in the comments. We will read them and we will talk about it. We're here every Thursday talking about the goings-on of the metal universe, even though everyone is at home all the time. All right, goodbye. Get out of here. Go eat a sandwich.